What is up, YouTube? Today I'm back again with another collection update, and I know I've been talking about doing this one for a while, but this is it's finally happening. This is my PlayStation 3 collection update. I just counted my games. I have 102, if you count one of the things as one game. Otherwise, it'd be 104. So yeah, I have a lot to go through, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on each game. I'm just going to show you every game in my collection for my PS3 currently. And my dog's running around like a madman because he's getting his bones. So if he walks into frame, don't mind that. Anyways, let's just get right into it. First things first is Record of Agarist War 2. This is a JRPG. It's pretty decent. It's very drawn out, kind of slow. I have the collector's edition of that. So I just don't have the box with me. I'm not going to do any of the collector's edition boxes because that'd just take up way more time. Next, I have Rock Band Track Pack Classic Rock. This is a standalone track pack. You can actually play this without owning Rock Band 1. So there's that. We have Rock Band Track Pack Volume 2. And trust me, they're not all music games. The next one we have is South Park: The Stick of Truth. South Park RPG, highly recommended if you've never played it. It's hilarious. It just makes you laugh nonstop. Next we have an import game, and this is Two Worlds 2 Game of the Year Edition. If you're wondering why I got the import version of this, it's because they had a cool collector's edition for it that I really wanted, so I got Two Worlds Game of the Year Edition. That is the European version. Next we have Blazing Angels 2, Secret Missions of World War II. Pretty cool flight sim. Next is a game that I had always wanted, and I still haven't taken the price tag off of it, surprisingly. That is Skate. It's a skateboarding simulator. Pretty fun. Oh. Well, anyways, let's keep going. Next we have Stormrise. This is a first-person shooter by Sega. Pretty interesting concept. Not a very high-budget game, but pretty fun nonetheless. Next we have Guitar Hero Smash Hits. This is all the best songs from Guitar Hero up to Guitar Hero 3. Amazing game. Probably one of my favorite Guitar Hero games. Next we have Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock. The last Guitar Hero ever made. I hear they're thinking about making another Rock Band, which is really sweet, because I'm really pumped for that. Guitar Hero Van Halen. We're going through a lot of my music games first, which I am a big fan of, obviously. Guitar Hero 5. Pretty decent song selection on that one. Not the best, though. Guitar Hero World Tour. This is a rental cover, so I don't have many that are non-legit cases, but that would be one of them. Next we have Rock Revolution. This is Konami's version of Guitar Hero. It's better than some of the other music games that I've played. And then we have Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch. This is the Black Label edition. I specifically got this just because I like the cover art to the Black Label version better than the Greatest Hits, and I really, really do enjoy that. Highly recommended RPG if you like Studio Ghibli. Condemned 2 Bloodshot. Probably one of the scariest games I've ever played on PS3. This is just terrifying, man. And I recommend it to horror game fans. Guitar Hero 3. This is the first Guitar Hero I ever played, and I highly recommend it. It's probably one of the best. Fallen Angel Sacred 2. This is a Diablo-style hack and slash with like morality choices. Pretty decent. Not bad. Next we have Battlefield Bad Company 2 Limited Edition. First-person shooter, hyper-realism. It's okay. I'm not a big fan of Bad Company 2, which I know a lot of people will be like, about, but yeah, I can say what I want. Next is Tekken Tag Tournament 2, probably my favorite fighting game franchise of all time, so I love Tekken. This is the newest in their lineup, so I play that one a lot. I actually don't have Tekken 6 still, which is very surprising to me, but eh. Next we have Power Grid Rise of the Six String, another music game made by some people I've never heard of, 745 Studios, and it's terrible, so don't pick that one up. That one's bad. Next, we have Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, first Call of Duty I ever played online, and it is a classic, I would think. So, obviously, everybody knows that one. Dragon Age Origins, probably one of my favorite games of all time. Definitely worth checking out if you've never played it. A lot of cool choice system stuff in there, so. Then we have Singularity. This is a first-person shooter. You know, with time mechanic stuff. Pretty cool. Next we have L.A. Noire. This is a detective game where you play in like the 1930s as a detective by Rockstar. Pretty cool open world game. There's another choice-based RPG, and this is Alpha Protocol, the espionage RPG. Heard a lot of good things about this one. I haven't played it yet, but it looks pretty sweet. Next we have Brutal Legend, a really fun beat-em-up style game with amazing soundtrack with Jack Black, so that's a fun underrated game. Next we have Brink. I thought I had this in better condition, but I don't. Brink is basically just a first-person shooter with parkour mechanics that not a lot of people like, but I don't think it's as bad as people say it is. So. Next we have Skyrim. Everybody knows Skyrim. It's a first-person, open-world RPG. And I honestly don't think it's as good as everyone says. I'm more of a fan of its predecessor. Next we have Dragon Age 2, the sequel to Dragon Age 1. Not as good story-wise as Dragon Age 1, but still a very good RPG. I think it gets a lot more crap than it deserves. Next we have Duke Nukem Forever. This one's pretty infamous for being terrible, but it's actually just a really fun, mindless game. It's really fun. Definitely not worth the $60 when it originally came out, but it's a really fun game. I liked it. The story is basically just ridiculous, so yeah, Duke Nukem Forever. This is one that I started to play and I never finished just because I didn't like it that much, but Battlefield 4, did not like it as much as Battlefield 3, but yeah, Battlefield 4, it's alright. Didn't really enjoy it all that much. Next we have Homefront. This is a Call of Duty kind of clone game where North Korea invades the United States. Interesting premise, very short story. Final Fantasy 13. I love the Final Fantasy franchise, so I have to have as many of them as possible. This one is very cinematic, and I don't really like the battle system in it, though. Next we have Tom Clancy's Hawks. Probably one of my favorite flight games of all time. It's just a really fun game, and just recommend it for arcade flight people. Next we have Deadpool the game. Hilarious. Just absolutely hilarious. Combat is repetitive, but it's a very funny game. Next we have PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. There we go. Anyways, this is a mascot fighting game, sort of similar to Super Smash Bros. And I think it's very underrated. It's a very good game. It's a different concept than Smash Bros. So don't go into it thinking about Smash Bros. or else you'll be a little disappointed. But it's a very good game nonetheless. Don't get me wrong. Next we have Resistance 3. First-person shooter with lots of brown. Next we have Nier. This is a very underrated JRPG that I think should get a lot more credit than it does by Square Enix, and it has an amazing soundtrack. Next is a game that I don't know... Next is a game that I think is okay. It's Black Site Area 51, another underrated first-person shooter with aliens in it, and I really enjoyed it, so... Next we have Resistance Fall of Man. Same thing as Resistance 3, except more brown. Mindjack. This is another... this is a third-person shooter, not a first-person shooter, but it has a really interesting concept where you can take over other people's bodies, which is really cool. So if you're into that kind of thing, check that one out. Next we have Tekken Hybrid. This is actually more of a movie, but it comes with Tekken Tag HD and Tekken Tag 2, the prologue, which is just a preview, and it comes with the movie. Really good movie. And Tekken Tag HD is always nice to have. Always like that. Next we have Zone of the Enders HD Collection. This is a mech game. Really, really fun. Highly recommended if you are into mecha and stuff. If you like mecha anime, that's pretty much a no-brainer. I really liked it. I have never played the HD collection, but I own the PS2 and have played the PS2 version. So, next we have Fuse. This is a first-person shooter that has mechs and stuff in it. It's pretty interesting. I like it. It's okay. Next is a game I haven't played a whole bunch of, but I thought it was interesting, and it's Vampire Reign Altered Species. This is basically the same game as the normal Vampire Reign in the Xbox 360, except with improved engines and stuff and bug fixes and whatnot. And it's basically a game where like vampires start to roam around and stuff, so interesting. Next is Enslaved Odyssey to the West. It's a fun action-adventure game that I recommend to everybody. Next is one of my worst conditioned games that I have for PS3, Disgaea 3, Absence of Justice. This is a tactical RPG with anime styling to it, so it's not for everyone. Next I have Lost Planet 2. The better in the series. I think this is the best one in the series. It's a third-person shooter with a really, really cool story to it. I like that series a lot. Next I have The Last of Us. This is the Steelbook edition, but yeah, I have The Last of Us. Probably the best game of all time on PS3, so there's no reason you shouldn't be checking that one out already. Then we have Little Big Planet 2 Special Edition. Comes with some DLC and stuff. This is basically just make your own platforming levels, the game, and it's okay. I'm not a big fan of it. I'm looking forward to Mario Maker a little bit more. We have Resistance 2. More brown shooting. With aliens, obviously. Next is a game that's no longer online, but it's my favorite shooter of all time, and it is MAG. Got this on launch day, played for like 140-something hours, and it was worth every single second of it. God, I miss that game so much. Next we have Legendary, a very, very mediocre first-person shooter with a pretty cool story concept to it, but executed okay, not too great. Next is another game that's another first-person shooter called Time Shift. And you play with time in a shooting game. So, yes. That's exactly how it sounds. We have Atelier Totori, The Adventures of Arland. This is the second in the Atelier series for Arland. And JRPG, very classic style with an alchemy system. Then we have I think this is an underrated game, and that is Beowulf the Game. Follows the story more than the movie, and very, very good third-person God of War styles thing. I like it a lot. I played through that, and it was really, really fun, and very difficult. Next we have Lost Planet Extreme Condition. This is the first in the Lost Planet series, and I think it is very, very good. I liked this game a lot. Probably one of my favorite Capcom games. Which is kind of saying something since that's not a very popular series. Next we have Aliens Colonial Marines, a very mediocre like Call of Duty clone except in the Aliens universe. We have Uncharted 3, Drake's Deception. This is the third in the Uncharted series. It's pretty good. I really like this one. The graphics are phenomenal on the PS3 for that. We have my only greatest hits game, still. Uncharted 2 Game of the Year Edition. This is the best of the Uncharted series, and I think it's very good. We have Fallout 3. I think it's okay. I'm not as big in the Fallout series as I am the Elder Scrolls, but it's definitely worth checking out if you're into that kind of game. And then we have MotorStorm. This is my first PS3 game. This is the pack-in for the 60 gig big fatty version. And then we have Genji, Days of the Blade. This is the only one I have in a replacement case. Original artwork, though. Yeah, this is a hack-and-slash RPG, JRPG. And it's okay. The first one was much better on the PS2, so... Next, we have Minecraft, PlayStation 3 Edition. My girlfriend absolutely loves this game. For real. She plays that more than I do. Borderlands. This is a open world RPG, sort of similar to Fallout, except more cartoony. We have the first Uncharted, Drake's Fortune. It's okay. The other two are much better, but this one is where everything started, so you gotta play that. We have Rock Band 3. My least favorite. My least favorite's number 2. It's an okay version. I didn't really like the soundtrack. It wasn't that great. Next is Grid, one of my favorite racing games. I really want to get Grid Autosport since it's the true sequel to Grid 1. Grid 2 is just a disgrace and it's an arcade racer. Grid Autosport is where it's at, and I really want to get that. So, haven't gotten a chance to yet, though. Next we have The Orange Box. Basically, this is like 4 games in one, I think. You get Half-Life Episode 2, Episode 1, and regular Half-Life 2, Team Fortress 2, and Portal. So, 5 games. Pretty good value. Kind of hard to find in the PS3. Next we have Battlefield 3. I played a ton of this online. Reason why I don't play Battlefield 4 is they changed the helicopter controls. And I hate that, because I was amazing at flying helicopters in Battlefield 3. Number 4, I'm good, but not as good as I was. So, that's why I don't like Battlefield 4 as much. Next we have Tomb Raider. I have the special edition of this. I've also forgot to mention I have a couple of other of these in special edition. But yeah, I've got the collector's edition of this. Pretty good adventure game if you like, Tomb Raider or Uncharted. Similar feel to those. Next we have End War. A very, very poorly done RTS. Don't like that one. Next we have Rainbow Six Vegas 2. I remember this being more fun than it was when I first started playing it. I mean, there's a lot of customization and stuff, but it's okay. It's a decent first-person shooter. I know a lot of people love that one, but I don't know. Next we have a music game that I had never heard of until I saw it, and it's really, really weird, and I kind of like how they did it. It's Rock of the Dead. Imagine Guitar Hero meets Light Gun Shooter. It's basically what this is. Band Hero. I love the Guitar Hero series, if you haven't noticed, and Band Hero is a pretty good, has a couple songs in there that I like, including Paralyzer, which is the main reason why I got that. Rock Band 2. My least favorite Rock Band. Terrible, terrible. I don't know what they did, but the engine in this and the hit detection is really, really wonky, and I hate Rock Band 2. If I could erase Rock Band 2 off the face of the earth, I probably would. Modern Warfare 2. Probably the peak, in my opinion, of the Call of Duty franchise. I played so much of this, and I had a really good time playing that online when that was still the thing to do. Next we have Dark Kingdom. This is a hack and slash RPG that is a launch title for the PS3, and I think it's very, very underrated, and I don't really see anything on that. That's a good game, though. And next we have the expansion pack to Dragon Age, and that is Dragon Age Origins: The Awakening. And this is a very good expansion pack. If some of you are on the fence about getting the expansion pack, don't even think about it. Get it. If you like Dragon Age Origins, you'll like the expansion pack. I guarantee it. We have Bulletstorm Limited Edition. This is a very comedic style first-person shooter with a lot of charm to it. Oh my gosh, we have so many games. I don't know where I'm going to start putting these stacks of games. I'm going to have to put them behind the other thing. We have Bleach Soul Resurrection. I didn't play a lot of this. This is a hack and slash game. I don't watch Bleach, so I have no idea what's going on in this game. Therefore, I don't really play it all that much. I'll put that stack over there. Rock Band 1, in my opinion, the best of the series, and has the best track list, and I love this game. It's the only Rock Band that I consistently play. The other ones I'll pick up every once in a while, but not very consistently. We have Atelier Maruru. This is the last in the Arland series. I really need to get the first one still, and same deal as Atelier Totori, except different character, different story. We have another JRPG. This one is Time and Eternity. This one's really unique because it feels like you're playing an anime. And, yeah, it's very different take on a JRPG. I recommend that. Next we have another JRPG. We're just going JRPG crazy today. We have Cross Edge. This is a basically a lot of obscure JRPGs smashed into one big JRPG. So it's decently done. Not the best though. Call of Duty Black Ops, the last Call of Duty I had purchased, and I plan to keep it that way because it's not that... I mean, I liked Black Ops, but where the franchise is going is just not interesting me at all. Killzone 2. It's a very classic exclusive shooter to PlayStation. Obviously, I can't really say much more about that. That's a good series. We have Killzone 3. I have the uber huge edition of this, so obviously the same thing as Killzone 2, except more colors. We have Haze. It tried to be Killzone, but it didn't. It's a mediocre game, on the lower half of mediocre, I would say. Verging on bad. So, yeah, I can take with that what you will. You might enjoy it. Might be a fun game to play on a rainy day or something. But be wary. We have Lair. This game is actually really fun now since they added support for the analog sticks. So if you're wary about getting this, don't worry about it. It's pretty good. We have Unreal Tournament 3. This is a arena-style shooter, very fast-paced. I love this style shooter, and I love the Unreal series. I really wish there would be another one, so looking forward to it when it comes around. We are getting down to the last games, believe it or not. We have Aliens vs. Predator. This game has a pretty fun story mode, and the online mode is amazing, except for one major flaw. Grab moves are super overpowered, and it's pretty much broken because of that. I would have loved the online if grab moves weren't so broken in that game. We have Elder Scrolls 4, Oblivion. This is my favorite Elder Scrolls game, and I love this game a lot. I've beaten it 3 times. Awesome game. Armored Core 4. I got this way back in the day when I first got my PS3. Not really. Not when I first got it, but about a year afterwards. But I still really enjoyed this game. Very complicated controls. Very realistic mech shooter, I would say. Earth Defense Force Insect Armageddon. Third-person shooter. It's exactly as cheesy as it sounds. Very fun, though. Extremely fun, especially if you have other people. Brothers in Arms. Hell's Highway. World War II first-person shooter. I love the game engine, and I love the way the game plays. Medal of Honor Limited Edition. I absolutely love this game. This game was so underrated, and I really wish Warfighter would have continued where this game was going, rather than the weird direction that they ended up taking it in. White Knight Chronicles International Edition. This is an exclusive JRPG. Haven't played a whole bunch of it, but I can tell you that it's supposed to be amazing. And with the last of the regular games that we have is Digimon All-Stars Rumble. If you like Digimon and you want Digimon games, I don't care if this game doesn't sound interesting to you, you really need to buy it, because this is basically Bandai testing the waters to see if they should release more Digimon games. So if you want more, buy this game immediately. It's like Smash Bros. With Digimon. So, and the last 2 things we have here. This is why I say there could be 104 in the collection if you consider this more than one game, but I consider it one, so I consider me having 102 games, and that is the Mass Effect Trilogy. I consider this one big game because it really plays like one, and I absolutely love this game. When I picked this game up, I didn't think I would like it, I'm not going to lie, but this is actually my favorite game of all time now, so it's a lot of people's favorite game for a good reason, too. If you haven't played it, you really should take the time to do so. And lastly, we have a special edition of Final Fantasy 13-2 coming with a mini novel, as you can see there. It's just a continuation of Final Fantasy 13. Nothing special. And that's everything we have. This was a long video, but I have a lot of games that I had to go through. This is my second largest collection that I have. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any recommendations, please leave them in the comment box below. I respond to as many comments as possible. So I will see you guys next time. Thank you guys for watching. Peace. forgot to mention that I did forget to do the aerial shot of all the games, so I'll add this in at the end. Yay! Look at all the games. Look at them all. That would be 102 games for PS3. Now, for real though, see you guys next time. Peace.